Welcome to the sit chapter. This is my dog Nikita. I'm going to show you what it looks like to have her sit on verbal cue as well as hand signals. The goal is to have them sit on just one cue, or you can do a combination, but you're not going to repeat. Okay. Nikita. That was hand signal only. Okay. We'll do it again. We'll do it this time just verbal only. Sit. Good. This is Shiloh. Shiloh is about 9.5 weeks old, just a young pup here, lab mix. And we're going to be teaching this guy how to sit. So before we get started, I want to get him engaged with me a little bit. So I'm just going to get him following the treats, get him paying attention to me. I haven't spent really much time at all with this dog, so we're just going to bond here for a second. I want to make sure that I've got his attention, and I'm starting to get him following the lure. Good boy. And right now I'm not worried about giving him any corrections. I don't care if he jumps on me, if he tries to chew my fingers off, if he licks me to death. That's all fine for me right now, because what I'm concerned about right now is that he's engaging with me. Right? And then when I want to keep him from jumping on me or whatever I want him to do, is I'm just going to be sticking this in his face, and that's going to keep him where I want him. So I've got him going. Come on, buddy. Let's just go back. Boom, right there. Good boy. And there was our sit. Good. Okay. Come on. All right. Let's go. Come on. Okay. So like I said, all I'm trying to do right now is get him following this lure. Now, once I've got him on it, I'm going to go straight back over his head. Come on. Good boy. Straight back and good. And he actually plops into a sit really easily. It won't always be this easy, and we'll cover all the elements of how to get this to happen. Good boy. What we've done so far is we've just been luring him and getting him engaged with me. We're just playing, right? And he's following a treat. I say good, and then give him the treat. Just like when we did the name game, good, then open my hand and give the treat. So he's learning these basic things, right? Now he's wanting to go see the mama over there. So I'm just going to bring his attention back. Now this, he's a real young dog, so he's only 9.5 weeks, so we don't have any big expectations from him. We just want to get him focused. We want him to have a good time and teach him how to follow a lure. And then we're going to go straight over his head. Straight back, so that when his head goes up, the idea being that his butt will just plop right down. Shiloh, good boy. Come on. There you go. Shiloh. There you go. So he's distracted. We'll see if we can get him back in. There we go. Good boy. There we go. Good. See how he's pawing at it? That's okay. Good. There we go. Good boy. Okay. Come on. There you go. Now is a good time to pause the DVD and give that a try. All right. So Shiloh here had to get a little break. Remember, if you're dealing with a puppy or any sort of attention issue, keep your sessions short. Take a little break. So we took a break, brought him into the shade, got him some water, and look, now he's ready to go again. So recharge his little battery. Come on. Good. And again, he's onto it, so I'm going to go straight back. Good boy. Give him the treat. A little petting, a little praise. Good. Okay. There we go. Good. There it was. Now he's pawing at me right now, if you can see that. So all I do is wait until he's not pawing. There we go. Good. Good. So that's really important actually right there, that I didn't correct him for that. I didn't pull the treat away or say no or anything like that. I just held out until he stopped pawing, and when he was in the position I wanted, I said good and released the treat to him, right? That's really important because we don't want to discourage them from coming after it. Good, okay. Right? If this is late down the road, we're dealing with a dog that's completely trained and they're doing that for some reason, or then you might correct them for that behavior. But right now, I want him after that treat. So if he's pawing at it, that's good. But just don't pull away and say no, 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 or lifting it up in the air, because then they're going to jump up at it. So, and if you discourage that later, because if you wanted to teach your dog to jump or dance or do tricks, you know, if you've been discouraging them too much, then they're going to be afraid of making a mistake. So we keep them on it, and we hold steady and get what we want. So our hand motion is very small. And if they start backing away too much, just bring them to you again, into the sit again like that. Right? And then what I do is once they're getting the hang of it, so they don't have to smell it, I'm going to turn my hand around this way because it's going to be sit like this. I might be able to even do it now. Shiloh, come here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just like that. So now I've got my palm up. Good boy. Okay. There, just like that. So we've got him focused on the treat for sure, and he's going into the sit pretty easily. So what we're going to start doing is adding, if we come straight up from the knee to the hip bone here, just in front of the hip bone, we're going to start adding a little pressure. I'm going to lift him back like so, just like that. I just barely put a few ounces of pressure there. Good. Okay, come on. Good. There you go. Good boy. So we'll do that again. So again, the reason for the pressure point is to be able to enforce the behavior, and we're going to start weaning off of the food. Right? Or if you were really adamant about not wanting to use the food, you could always do that. But I recommend doing both. But this gives us the ability to enforce it, teaches the dog to accept pressure in a positive way. So straight up from the knee, you'll find these little bones poking up. You go just in front of those bones on either side of the spine and squeeze just a little bit as I'm bringing his head up like that. Good. Good. Okay, come on. What are you doing? There you go. So again, really quick, boom. There we go. Good boy. Okay, come on. There you go. So now we've done the lure. We've taught him to follow the treat into the sit, which is going to become, and we start flipping our hand. So this is going to start becoming a hand signal. See, he's following my hand now, whether still just from the smell that's on it, but he's learning to follow my hand. And then we added the pressure point back here above the hip bones. Critical, very important, especially with a puppy like this. We are absolutely not shoving down. It's just a little squeeze. It's not even as hard as you would give a massage to someone. It's just a little squeeze to sort of get that muscle to give a little bit. Really, most of the action is about lifting the head up, which we're using the food. So now we're going to start getting rid of the food. We're going to start lifting the head up as we give the pressure point, which can be done. What are you doing, buddy? Which can be done either by putting our hand underneath the chin and lifting up a little bit, or just pull up on the collar like this. Because eventually what's going to happen is your dog is just going to know that when you pull up on the collar, that means sit. So when you know that your dog knows absolutely without a doubt what sit means, and they're just looking at you like, give me a cookie first, or I don't want to, or whatever, you can pull up on that collar and then they'll know, oh yeah, and they'll just sit. And it shouldn't take very much to make them sit once you've conditioned them to know what this means. That's why we start with the food and everything and go through this process. And you don't have to do this whole process in one day like I'm doing here. You can spend a few days doing the treats first. Come here, buddy. Shiloh. Shiloh. Good. All right, so now I've got his attention. All I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up here and give that pressure point there. Good boy. You can see there was barely any pressure because he's already, he's already been conditioned to do it. Keep your sessions really short, especially with these little guys like this. See, he's all over the place. But again, it does give me the ability to just reinforce it. So he's going to get a little squirrely on me. I'm going to bring him just like so that he's used to being handled. I can move him around. Notice I'm not moving around. I'm not letting him manipulate me. I'm not spinning in a circle. I'm just bringing him back where I want him. Here. Good. There you go. Good boy. Okay. There we go. Just like that. And again, he's just barely starting to process this, but we're also creating some muscle memory, so he's understanding. He's just going to follow these things. He may not really know why we do these silly things. That's okay. Shiloh. Oh, you like the leaf. There you go. All right, so again, following the treat, I can combine the treat with the pressure, use those various combinations, and he's going into his sit pretty easily. Okay, good. Come on. Right, we can come around. Shiloh, good boy, come here. See if you can see this. We can use just the pressure with no treat. Good boy. Right, so he's doing all of these things fairly easily. Good, okay. So now, this is where we can begin to introduce the word sit. In case you were wondering why I hadn't been doing that, that is why. So we want to get the behavior reliably first, then we add the name. Because if he was pawing at my hand for that treat and I was saying sit, 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 I would be teaching him a trick of pawing my hand, and sit is the cue for that. So that's why we get the behavior we want first, fairly reliably. So we're going to go sit. There we go. Good boy. Okay. Come on, Shiloh. Come on. There you go. So that's the key. When you feel like you know that they're going to do it, you feel pretty sure that they're going to do it, you can say the name and have them go into the position. And we also, that's why we have the pressure point techniques as well, that if he really lost it, come here, buddy. If he really was just losing it like he kind of is right now, and I'd already said sit. My commitment is if I say sit, I have to make sure it happens. It can't just be a word that he can ignore. Sit doesn't mean do this or go run away or anything. So if I don't want to train him, or if I say he needs a break right now, which he does, then I'll give him a break. But if I'm going to say sit, I have to make sure it happens. That's really the key. And so regardless of whether it's with the treat or the pressure or whatever way, if I say it, it has to happen. Shiloh. Good boy. Sit. Good. Okay. Now is a good time to pause the DVD and give that a try.